episode of the Professional You Experience. I'm Robert Bozarth.
And I'm Colby Connor.
And today we're here with Luna Alexander. And honestly, today's just going to be filled with a whole bunch of questions, mostly pertaining to how. How do you manage everything that you do? You're so involved within the school, so involved outside of the school, and honestly, it's just amazing how you can manage everything and still have time to have fun and do other things like hang out with your friends. So we're going to kick it off.
Starting with your experience in the Army ROTC, can you tell us a little bit about how you got involved with that?
Yeah, so when I was in high school, I knew that I wanted to serve in the military in some aspect, in some way, but I also wanted to go to college, and Army ROTC kind of allowed me to do the best of both worlds. I was going to train for the military as I went through college. I knew it was going to be a tough balance, and how to navigate that was going to come, but it really bridged me from high school into college and kind of really built the time management skills that I have now. So.
Do you feel that you developed as a leader through those processes of being a freshman, just starting in the ROTC, up until now being a senior?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the biggest things that the United States Army teaches us is leadership and how to be a better leader and why do you want to lead the people around you. So it really allowed me to navigate the my own style of leadership with the Army's leadership model in mind throughout. And my different experiences from freshman to senior have really allowed me to develop and refine those skills.
So what would you say are some of the best experiences that you've had throughout being in the ROTC here at Bloomsburg?
I would have to say that just the ability to impact the people around me. As a senior cadet, you really get to impact the freshmen that come in and really mentor them in ways that you were mentored as a freshman, and that's kind of one of the things that I always look forward to was being a senior in the program, to be able to build those relationships and allow the cadets really to find their place here.
So you're a very decorated cadet within the ROTC program. Can you tell us a little more about what kind of decorations you have on your uniform and what they stand for and how you actually got them?
So my freshman year, I knew that I had to work my tail off to be able to get to where I wanted to go. So my first field training, I actually received the battalion coin from our lieutenant colonel, which is a freshman, was a big deal. It's in my room now and kind of just reminds me of how much work I've put in. But I've received countless Cadet of the Month awards, the USC scholarships from them, so I have a full tuition scholarship from the United States Army ROTC program, and then I also received a campus-based military scholarship. Bloomsburg University is one of the most military-friendly colleges in the state of Pennsylvania, and I can argue in the United States. And I've just had the ability to do so much more than I ever thought I could do with the ROTC program.
I love that. So do you think that your development has set you up for success in your other endeavors regarding like how you've developed through the ROTC?
Absolutely. I a lot of time compare everything else in my life to the ROTC program just because the ROTC program runs like a well-oiled machine, and I wish everything would run that easy. So between rugby and other things, I really try to structure my life the way that the Army has taught me how to structure the program.
So do you have any plans after college within the military? Like what do you want to do in specific going forth with ROTC in the military?
So I graduate in May, and then I'm off to Fort Knox, Kentucky for over a month for some training. And then in September, I find out if I go active duty. I put in a packet for active duty combat engineer. So we'll find out come September, and then the military will tell me where to go. So.
All right. Well, best of luck with that going forward.
Sure, yeah.
Thank you.
So it seems like Bloomsburg really provided a nice community for you to get involved in. Is there any other things that you're involved in within the campus?
Yeah, so when I came here my freshman year, August 19th of 2019, I really found home. And home for me meant that I could be my most authentic self. And that's how I got involved in the LGBTQA+ community here at Bloomsburg University. And I have really found a support system that I never thought I would find anywhere else. And I was able to get involved with the Bloomsburg University Equality Alliance and become a panelist for our Speak Out panels, which is basically a group of individuals sharing our coming out story and our experience as part of the community, and just sharing tokens of knowledge with students on campus and off campus. So we go into education classrooms and kind of tell them, give them knowledge of how to navigate the current climate of LGBTQ issues within the classroom.
Yeah, so it really seems like you guys are focusing on spreading the word, spreading that it's okay to be different.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to be yourself and do what you like doing. Are there any stories or friendships that you built that really stand out to you?
Absolutely. Last year, so my junior year, I was able to speak at the high school diversity conference as a panelist for the Speak Out panels. And just to look at the high school students and kind of reflect where I was at that point, and not having anybody that looked like me and thought like me. And it was a really scary time in high school, and I just felt that I was the only one. And to be able to be on the reverse side and to be able to look at those high school students and tell them, like, hey, it's going to be okay, and you're going to get through this, and your feelings are valid, and everything that you think right now that you think you're so alone about, you're not so alone. And I think that was a token that I kind of hold with me every day of, like, it'll be all right, and everybody around you is going to be okay too.
So being involved with the LGBTQ community, has this opened the door to any other opportunities for you going forth?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, between my community involvement and the ability to impact students on campus and off campus, I've also received a scholarship from the LGBTQ Commission at Bloomsburg University. It's awarded to 2 students every academic year for their involvement within different programs that the LGBTQ offices hold, and just involved individuals within our campus community. It doesn't have to be individuals who identify with the LGBTQ, but individuals who are looking out for our community. So that was really impactful, and it just felt good to know that I was leaving an impact on students around me.
So were there any opportunities that came out to kind of help you branch out further into the Bloomsburg community?
Yeah, so I actually started getting involved with the local high school GSAs, or Gay Straight Alliances. A fellow student of mine and I would go to those classrooms, and really, again, that visibility aspect. If we would go and talk to these high school students and just answer those silly questions you have as a high schooler of, like, how did you navigate it? Like, how did you figure out, what you wanted to do? And, we don't have depths of years of knowledge being, 21 years old comparative to 16 and 17, but just knowing that, the possibility of getting out of there is an opportunity. So that was something that I really hold true to my heart and close to my heart, because it just meant a lot for me to be able to be involved in those aspects.
So we're talking so much about you being a leader, and part of being a good leader is being able to forge a path when there's not one set for you already, which brings me into your internship experience, which wasn't a set internship before you came along. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been a part of the Presidential Leadership Program since my freshman year. I'm still tied with the Honors College currently, but as we navigate the path forward, it might not be. But my junior year, I guess I really recognized that with my major I needed an internship, and I was starting to panic of, like, when do I do it? How do I do it? How do I get there? I kind of put it off. I was like, I'll get there at some point. And finally, the fall semester of my senior year, I was like, I need something. And I looked at the PLP program and remembered how it was my freshman year, and was like, I want to leave this place better than when I found it. So I basically looked at Dr. Hannah during our dinner up at Buckaloo and said, hey, I think this is a need of our organization. I think you need a student who's devoted to this organization to really build it up before, we navigate this integration process, which will now become the Presidential Leadership Academy. Like, how can I leave it better than I found it? And he basically looked at me and said, all right, this is what you want to do? Then let's do it. And he's like, do you want to get paid for your internship as well? And I said, absolutely, broke college things. So I really did forge that path for myself, just because I saw a need for it, and I wanted to change what was going on and be that impact and leave that legacy behind for the program.
So what motivated you to take that initiative?
I think for me, it was the impact that the program left on me my freshman year. So, as a first week freshman, I climbed Mount Washington in New Hampshire with the Presidential Leadership Program as a requirement for a class. And I just reflect on that mountain climb as one of the hardest things I've ever done, but one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. So for me, it was, what opportunity do I have to give back? And that was kind of why I stepped up and asked Dr. Hannah, like, how can I help this program be better before I leave? And my brother went to Bloomsburg University and graduated after my first semester here, and he was part of the presidential leadership program, and I just saw how much that developed him into his career now, and I just want that opportunity for other students to come after me.
So creating this internship and, taking that initiative to reach out to Dr. Hanna himself, what's one thing that you learned when communicating with high professionals and people who are ranked very highly within the system?
I think I would have to say I've learned two things, and a direct quote from a professional that I talked to was, your emails never go away, so be professional and ensure that, if you're flustered or upset, like, don't take that out on an email. Take a step back, have that in-person conversation if you need to. But the other one is, they're not so scary. Like, I feel like everybody, has this idea, especially with Dr. Hanna or some of our other like VPs and things like that, that like they're these high up individuals within our university, and as a student you can't talk to them. But I can tell you that some of the best conversations I've had with professionals have been individuals who are 18 steps above me in the hierarchy of a college campus, but not a conversation feels like that. They really make it feel like you're just a one-to-one individual, that they're your colleague, and that they want to help you.
They also have that same passion that us students have, except for the fact that they're here for longer than 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
This is their whole career. So
Exactly.
A lot of people overlook that aspect of them.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a reason why people come back to higher ed, and it's because they want to leave an impact on students where they were before. And it's usually because there was somebody who believed in them, a higher up administrator, a college professor, or their advisor that really said, you can do this. And that's exactly why individuals come back and get involved in higher ed. So don't feel like they're so scary all the time.
Now is also a really important time to be approaching those leaders because of the integration.
Mm-hmm.
We're building a community right now, so it's really important for the students to be able to approach those leaders, as I said before, and really make that impact and set this integration up for success.
Absolutely. The power of three is really important, and ensuring that, across all three campuses, all individuals within this community have the opportunities that everyone else does.
So you briefly touched on rugby a little bit earlier. Could you tell us a little bit about what your experiences look like in the rugby club?
Yeah, so I'm a member of the Bloomsburg University Women's Club Rugby Team, or BUWRFC. And I joined my freshman year because it was a sport that I had never played before, and I was like, you know what, I want to get involved in something new. And then with my Army ROTC stuff on the line, I didn't want to get injured, and that was a really big worry for me. But I realized that with the rugby team, I found home, and so how would I support the home that I was in? And for me, it came to my experience with photography and social media. So I became the social media chair / team photographer. And during COVID, we weren't really an active club just because of our restrictions to play. But I can say that without rugby and the team and the family that was created for me and the individuals that became part of my life, I definitely would not have been able to make it where I was. Like, support is key in everything that I've done, and those are some of the best individuals that have supported me in my journey so far. So.
Being able to get out of your comfort zone always proves successful. It seems like that's a common trend in all of your experiences.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been an interesting path to navigate through college. Like, it's tough enough as as a general college student, but me being so involved, it's been interesting, and some of the things that I've done, other students have never done before. So how do I navigate that? Is really comes back down to my support system, and I can't thank them enough for it.
So jumping back to your involvement with the ROTC, I know you're a part of the Student Veterans Association. What's some of the roles that you play within that organization, and what does it do, and what's the main accomplishment?
With the Student Veterans Association, we really are a community with a wide variety of individuals. You have individuals who are freshmen in college who have never served in the military yet, but maybe they're part of the ROTC program, or maybe their parents have served. And you have individuals who have served 20 years and who come back to college to really start a different career path in their lives. And that's really, our focus is just building a community for a wide range of individuals within our network. So it's been really cool to be able to give back to those individuals and be involved in a wide variety of the different things that we do. We hold the 9/11 memorial on campus every year, and this past year I was able to be the guest speaker and do the salute to the flags, which was just a really humbling experience to be able to do that. and it's just been really great to be able to give back to the individuals that have given so much for others.
So you've got so much involvement within the school community. How do you manage your time of having fun, having classwork, work, exec boards? How do you manage it all?
Yeah, so I think it really comes down to my planner. I really block out time. I kind of ensure that, I have enough time to complete everything. Now, every day isn't perfect, and some days I don't get nearly as much sleep as I would want to. But it really comes down to, priorities and what I want to do in life. And one of those things is just leaving an impact behind. And if I got to lose 30 minutes of sleep because of it, then so be it. But it really comes down to kind of, planning out my days, ensuring that I've got those checklists, and really ensuring that the people around me, kind of not necessarily respect the grind, but respect, my vision and my mission with everything that I do, and just ensuring that that support system has me, because there are definitely days where time management falls to pieces, but the people around me ensure that I'm okay. So,
Thank you for watching the Professional You Experience. And a big thank you to Luna for coming on the show and giving her experiences at Bloomsburg University. Thanks for watching, and tune in next week for our next episode. Have a nice day.
Thank you.